Welcome to Dream Small, where we believe God does big things through the small and everyday faithfulness of His people. I'm Jason.
And I'm Whitney. We're a family of 8 who's fostered, adopted, and stumbled our way through learning that small, everyday choices can change lives.
In a world that tells you to chase big, we dare you to dream small.
Because you know what? It's not about chasing fame. It's about choosing faithfulness. Well, good day to you.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
I was just telling Jason that I had a dream last night. I mean, I think I'm not the only one that has dreams.
Does anybody else's spouse get mad at them because of their dreams?
Or being interrupted. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing. But I was just telling him that I was having a dream. And we were going on vacation. And we had a really cool Jeep. I don't know why that was part of it, but it was.
It's because you've wanted a Jeep for a while. And we're never going to get one.
Since I was a teenager, I thought I'd have a Jeep. And here I am driving a white 12-passenger van.
The van's cooler. The van is cooler.
Okay. But yeah, he worked at a cool burger place with a super cool office below ground. And I don't know, he was hanging out with his current boss.
Was he my boss at the burger joint, or could I finally be his boss?
No, I think you were like co-owners.
Okay, cool. So me and Dan started a burger joint together.
You guys were hanging out, yeah. Okay. And here I was, gathering the sunscreen and gathering the beach chairs from apparently the burger joint.
Because why not?
But Jason, gist of the story, Jason and Dan hanging out, shooting the breeze, and Whitney's putting in all the work to prepare to go on a beach vacation. So, I might have woken up a little salty. Get it?
Well done. Well done. Yeah, this is not the first time Whitney has woken up mad at me for what happened in her dream. Is that? I assume that's a thing for other people?
Maybe it goes with my hormone cycle. I don't know. I've never actually tracked it, but probably once a month I get really ticked off at you from something you did in a dream.
No, you get more mad at me way more than just once a month.
Oh, stop it.
So, and while we're sitting here, just so you guys know, we have Parker, our elf, dangling from our light fixture in where we're recording right now.
Wrapped in toilet paper, upside down.
Duct tape on
gagged.
his mouth. Yeah. So our kids, if you do the elf thing like we do, first of all, God bless you. We should have killed him during COVID.
Yeah, he just keeps coming back. However,
and our kids this year escalated it, and now we have a little miniature Grinch that's like the evil twin of the elf. And
I don't know really what purpose he serves.
I don't know either.
But he's always around, and he hides too.
And he came in like September.
Yeah, he definitely came early. However, we'll take the wins where we can, because Benny and Lainey now know the truth, and they are so excited. They kind of argue over whose turn it is to hide Mr. Elf every night. So,
that is a win.
I'll take that win, because we were not the best at it. The first couple years it was fun, and then it was just kind of a drag. And now I kind of miss it because I never get to do it.
Well, you are the mom. If you wanted to do it, you could go ahead and tell them. I love it. We haven't had any one of those panic mornings where we sprint over to him and chuck him across the room and hope he lands somewhere.
Somewhere cool, right? Yeah, no, it's been great. And they've had really fun ideas. And you know what? They have way more capacity to actually execute those ideas than I do.
And they're more creative than
I
us.
just show them what I see on social media, and they go with it. Yeah. And it works out really well.
Yeah. So today, we're talking about something super light and funny, and no, we're not. We're talking about, since I guess Whitney just blankly staring at me.
Well, I thought that you were kind of going to take over this episode, and I was just kind of going to...
Let's go that way.
Give little...
inserts and nuggets?
Stuff when I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Because originally you wanted this to be a solo episode, right?
Okay, fine. Cool.
Okay, bye.
Perfect.
Here I am walking away.
So let me set the stage for you. It's a Friday afternoon in late July. Whitney had just gotten her thyroid out.
It was early August.
But the kids hadn't started school yet.
No, I was waiting I wanted to wait through the summer I knew that I had to get a large nodule in my thyroid removed. And I knew this back in May, and I wanted to wait through the summer because it wasn't anything urgent, just had to happen.
Yeah.
So I scheduled it for early August thinking we were good to go. But it was actually Leah's first day of kindergarten because she started later than the other kids.
Okay, so it's a Friday. That's all I remember.
No, it was a Wednesday.
It was a Friday.
Oh, boy.
It was a Friday.
No, it wasn't.
We're going to argue about this.
Well, there was a lot going on in those couple weeks, but no, it wasn't. It was a Wednesday. And I can tell you it was a Wednesday because it was the day they started school. And then the next morning, you came to visit me after you took the kids to school because I had to stay overnight. I'm right.
I don't remember all that. Anyway.
Friday was when the diagnosis came.
That's what yeah, I didn't mean the surgery. I meant the diagnosis.
Well, then we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. No. Gosh, Moses. Yeah. So.
This is why it should be a solo episode.
I hate it here. So it's a Friday because
it was Friday, August 9th.
Yeah, it was a Friday. Okay, so it was in August. Friday. I am working so I run a warehouse for my day job. I'm actually on a forklift, which isn't normal because I'm normally flying my desk, but I was out in my warehouse doing something on a forklift.
Maybe you should explain the flying my desk thing.
I'm a warehouse manager. I normally sit at a computer. I think most people know what that means, flying a desk. I think most people know that.
So I thought it meant you had like a standing desk you walked around the warehouse.
Well, I do have one of those, but I think most people know flying a desk is a
Oh, okay.
a funny way to say you have
I'm
an
just
office
going to
job.
stop talking now.
I mean,
you just take over, Jason.
I'll point at you when I want you to speak.
Turn off the mic.
So it is a Friday afternoon. I'm out in my warehouse. Whitney and I are waiting on the pathology from half of her thyroid being removed. Because, even though it had already been biopsied once and it was benign, they still, do a more thorough biopsy when they actually have the stuff. And sure enough, she sends me a picture of a bunch of words. I don't know what they mean with the word carcinoma at the end. And for anybody who's been involved with that knows that means cancer. Whitney, my wife, my kid's parent, mama, has cancer. What was that moment like for you when you read that? So I'm sure a lot of you guys have this too. So we have something called My Chart where you get results quicker than the doctor calls you. So she gets it. She sends me the picture of it.
A blessing and a curse, yeah.
I mean, the doc called within an hour probably, right? She called right away. But so what was your response when you got that?
Well, it was interesting. I remember I spent that I was going through a chaplaincy program at the time, and I was still off. I was recovering for the week post-surgery, and I spent that morning I went for a walk with my best friend, and then I was sitting outside reading a book on prayer. So it was kind of like God just kind of like warmed me up for it, like prepared me. But yeah, it was around lunchtime, and I was actually trying to take a quick little rest / nap / remember that I'm still in recovery mode before going to the kids' school for an IEP meeting. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yes, I do.
And
trying to keep it together as we walk into an IEP meeting about our kindergartner. Yes.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, hey guys, just so you know, we're a little off. I just got diagnosed with cancer. So anyway.
And they all looked at us like, huh?
Yeah, they were like, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, backing up. So I had finished this book on prayer, and you get that notification on your phone saying you have a new test result, and I was like, oh wow, like cool. And I wasn't thinking anything of it. I wasn't prepared for anything.
I disagree. I think you knew.
Yeah, I kind of did. Now that I take myself back there,
you knew.
Yeah, I kind of sensed it.
So we got diagnosed with cancer. I say we. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know it's not my body, but it's my wife, and we're a pair, and we got diagnosed. I cannot say the type of cancer it was. Can you say?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even finish your question.
Well, I'm trying to move you along. Like, I'm back.
Clearly.
Remember last episode, you
Yes.
said I'm back. So
no, I'm like, we can't just ramble this time.
Yeah, we're back.
Did you guys like the episode with me and Benny and Lainey, or do you like it better with Jason?
I bet they like both.
Tune in every...
I bet if it was you rambling with the kids every episode, probably not.
No,
or if it was me keeping us on track no, probably not. It's probably a good blend. So
anyway, it sucked. It was scary. Like, it was big words, right? And I wasn't sure when I read it if carcinoma was good or bad. And then I found out very quickly, thanks to, good old Google, that it was definitely not good and that it was a very rare type of cancer, which threw me even more. And like Jason said, my doctor called within an hour and she said, I'm shocked. Like she said, have you seen the results? And I said, yeah. And she goes, I'm completely shocked by this. She was not expecting it. So yeah, it was scary. And I actually had that conversation with her on the way to a child's IEP meeting because life goes on, right?
What was the name of the cancer? I know at the time it was called Hürthle cell, and so they've renamed it.
Yeah, so it was called Hürthle cell carcinoma. However, within the past year to 2 years, at the National Medical Board of Health,
cancer namings,
the bigwigs who name cancers changed it to oncocytic carcinoma.
So we're talking about how to deal with a big bomb dropped in the middle of your life and encourage if you're going this. So we're going to share the story of what the journey was like and our thoughts and feelings, and in order to both kind of just share I'm going to say some things I don't think I've told anybody ever.
Are you going to make me cry today?
I don't think so.
Are you going to cry today?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And then just so if you were going through a hard time, hopefully it serves as an encouragement to you to stay on your mission, just keep going, and all those things.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Okay, so the first thing I would say is we get the diagnosis, right? Like at first I was shocked. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, it's nothing. And then, it's something. It's definitely something. It's not what it's so a lot of people when they hear thyroid cancer, they say, oh, that's a good cancer to have. First of all, don't ever tell some human that has cancer that is the good cancer. I assure you, yes, of course, there are cancers that are much more treatable than others. There's no such thing as a good cancer.
No, I agree. I learned that too. Like, yeah, it's not a good cancer. There's not a good cancer.
Such a creature doesn't exist. Like her mom. So when people say the good cancer, thyroid cancer, it's called papillary cancer. It's the most common. 85% of thyroid cancers are papillary.
Something like that. Yeah.
And her mama actually had that, and treatment for that is typically you just take out your thyroid,
do radiation,
and then you're good. Like recurrence isn't a thing. It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
It's straightforward.
The good cancer.
The good cancer. Yeah. What Whitney has is a rare, so this is vintage Whitney. It's rare.
It tracks.
This is part of our journey of finding out, right? Like I didn't know anything about thyroid cancer. So I'm sharing you as part of my journey here. Okay, what does she have? It's a rare type of cancer. So when you hear rare, you're like, oh my gosh, that's bad. It's worse than papillary in the sense of Whitney will never get to say I'm cancer free. That's one of the first things her doc, she decided to get treated at the James Cancer Center at Ohio State. And one of the first things we learned is she'll never get to say I'm cancer free.
Correct.
How'd that hit you?
Heavy. That I'm trying to think of an appropriate word for a podcast.
Any, whatever one you want.
Hearing that I'll be under active surveillance the rest of my life, because one of the tricky parts about this type of cancer is they say it will most likely, I'm believing differently, but I'm saying this just based on what I was told. At some point in my life, it will come back, but somewhere else, which is why it makes it tricky. The other part that makes it tricky is that you need to undergo radiation to eradicate all remaining healthy thyroid cells so they could more easily detect recurrence or regrowth of cancer. However, 95% of this type of cancer cell does not respond to radiation. So while you're doing radiation, you also think, and your standard papillary thyroid cancer, the radiation will also kill remaining cancer cells. It is not the case for this type of cancer. So it kind of stinks. Like you have to go through radiation knowing that it's not actually taking away your cancer.
Most likely,
yeah. But it's still important so you can continue to monitor potential recurrence, right?
Yep. So we learned this, and I did far less Googling and ChatGPTing than Whitney did.
I researched everything, but it wasn't even that. Like, it was medical articles.
Yeah, no, you did it right way. You did it the
when
right
I went
way.
into the James and met with the endocrinology oncologist. There's so many big words.
That's a lot of words.
When I met with him, he told me like his recommended plan of action. I was like, yeah, that was what I was figuring. Like, he thought, are you okay with this? Are you surprised by this? And I was like, it's exactly what I was prepared for based on the medical journals I read.
Yeah. So for me, I'll be honest, I knew we'd have to do some treatment. So I was like, okay, I was more concerned, like, am I losing my wife? Like, am I going to be in? So it's a rare form of cancer. It'll probably come back, but it also is a type that doesn't typically. Well, also, Whitney got it like 20 years younger than the average person gets this type of cancer, right?
Correct. Yep. Which actually helps me.
Yeah. So in terms of diagnosis or not diagnosis.
That means I'm young, by the way.
Yeah. What relative? What's it called? Not prognosis. Prognosis. Yeah. So overall, the prognosis has been fairly positive, just not. That like it's not good. Like, yes,
it's weird to say. Like, it's good, but it's
far
not great.
better than some cancers, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Anyway, so we're just. It was so emotional at first. Like, what do we do? Like, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
So
immediately I had to go in and have another surgery.
Yeah. So that's
the day after we adopted our son.
Dude,
such a busy time of year.
I am telling you, that was the most emotionally.
How about when the judge asked you?
Oh yeah, so let me tell you this. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So we find out she has cancer on that Friday.
I just slapped the judge.
10
in the face.
days. Yeah, you're right, because Bray Bray was adopted on like the 24th. So
he was adopted on the 20th. My second surgery was the 21st.
Yeah. For diagnosis, following week, we adopt our little guy on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday. And we're standing there. This is an uncontested adoption. This is like this. If you're going to adopt a kid through foster care, this is the simplest way possible. Like, nothing.
He felt like ours from day one.
I mean,
different story.
We shared his story briefly, I think. So anyway, we expect the court hearing to be very simple, which it was. But we're standing there, and our adoption attorney looks at me and asks, "Hey, would you describe Whitney as a mom?" And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I kept it together pretty good.
You did well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be on the spot, like, we weren't expecting that.
We did not expect a cancer diagnosis. We're adopting Bray Bray, which is emotional, and Whitney's having her next follow-up surgery the next day, which we know will be more rough because she hadn't fully recovered from her prior. It's just like a lot of stuff, and I'm like...
And all the things that come with officially losing your entire thyroid, right? Like, there was a lot of unknowns pending overhead. And
gosh, yeah. So yeah, I kept it together.
But what did you say? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Well, he said like really kind things, but he was like, "This is a really hard question to ask someone who just found out his wife has cancer."
Yeah, and our attorney didn't know that because her eyes get big, and it's like one thing during an initial phase. I think it's important to remember, I'm going to share a verse, Psalm 46, 1 and 2. God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble, so we will not fear. Mm-hmm. And I want to, remember, courage isn't not being scared. Courage is facing your fear anyway, right? Like, people are like, oh, they have so much courage. They're not scared. No, you can still be scared. It's doing what you need to do anyway.
Yeah, I'd say that faith doesn't erase our fear. It gives us a place to bring it.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if you're going through a hard time, I wanted to share some of my momentary fears I had during quiet times. Like you said one thing to me, like, man, that song, The Good Die Young, I'm like, stop it. Right? Remember that? I stop it. Because, I think regardless of what type of cancer you have, when somebody you love gets diagnosed with cancer, you have those thoughts, right? Like, I remember thinking, what will I say at your funeral? Like, right? Like, I mean, it was like a 15-second thing. It's not something I dwelt on. It wasn't like something
It's
like, what Bible verses would I share? And I was like, no, we're not doing that. how in the heck am I going to raise 6 kids? Because it was 6 at the time.
Yeah.
6 kids.
Oh my gosh, Jason.
That number, we need to add a kid or get rid of one because anyway. But like, how am I going to do this on my own? I can't stand these kids. Whitney's the one that keeps it together. Blah, 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 blah. And
Truth comes out.
And we'll get into like having the talk with the kids, but I remember sitting in the basement with Delaney one evening and she goes, Daddy, is mommy going to die? I go, and I didn't want to be like, nope. I'm not going to lie.
11-year-old. Ugh.
She was 10 because it was before her birthday in November.
Right.
She was 10. And I said, sweetheart, I don't think so. Because I didn't want to lie to her and say no because I didn't know. Like, now we'll share more as we unfold this podcast, but I didn't know for sure, right? So I said, no, I don't think so. Okay. Just it's hard. Like,
yeah.
So I share that to say, having those momentary, scary, dark thoughts, I think is okay.
Yeah. It's just dwelling on it. That's
Right.
not okay. You can't stay there, right? Like, I remember I had those. I remember, sitting on the recliner doing my quiet time, just bawling. Like, why me?
Why you? Right?
Why me? Like, am I not doing enough good in this world?
So
like,
that's what I want to talk about now, right? Like,
yeah.
So I had those moments too. It's like, are you kidding me? My wife, the one who does all these things for this world, we've fostered however many kids, adopted and served, and she gets cancer, but yet this other person who is not doing anything good is perfectly healthy. Now we all know that's not how it works.
Right. And that was about the time when I decided, like, no, there will be a testimony that comes out of this cancer diagnosis and this journey. Like, I will be able to point people to God through using my faith of this testimony. And I remember it's still hard not to go morbid, and I might be getting ahead of you, but I remember telling you multiple times, like, I don't know that this journey is over.
Yeah.
Because I do think that God wants to bring a big testimony through it.
Yeah.
To point to him.
And the way me and Whitney are wired, she always is like, if you've seen Trolls, the Bergens are like, she's Branch. The Bergens are coming.
What
like,
does that mean?
You quickly go to the worst possible.
No, I just prepare myself for anything.
Compared to me.
Well, okay, Mr. Optimism, what?
I don't go to the negative. I'm like, okay, what's happening? I kind of take it. But anyway, and we'll share like what we think we've learned and what God used it for and all that stuff. Like I said, the purpose is to share our moments of darkness, our moments of struggle, so that you, and staying on your mission, staying on your path, to encourage you if you're going through, because regardless of you're fostering or not, adopting or not, you're going through something or have or will, right? You're either coming out of a storm, you're in a storm, or you're going into a storm, right? One way.
Amen.
So you're going to deal with this something. It might not be I hope it's not a cancer diagnosis of your spouse or a kid or something, but it might be, right? Or it could be worse. It could be, yeah. All right. So talking with our kids, that was hard.
So, I mean, it might have been harder for you. I don't know.
It was hard. So the way I viewed Whitney's cancer, this is just the view I had to take in order for my mental, like, I tell people she had cancer because my firm belief is that the cancer was confined to her thyroid. It is gone and we won't have to revisit it. Like, we're going to have to deal with stuff along the way. But I could be wrong, right? Like, that's 1,000%. I could be wrong.
Well, it's hard because I look at the scientific details.
Yeah.
And I don't see it that way. Just because we know that there was vascular and lymph invasion.
Yeah, her tumor was large and it had invaded lymph and blood vessels.
Yeah.
And they got it out clean edges, whatever that meant.
Yeah, they said that they had a clean margin.
I know that's good.
Yes,
but there were some factors in her tumor that indicate that there at the time it indicated a decent chance of recurrence.
Gosh, I hate talking about all this. Okay, yep.
Yeah, but see, Anyway, so telling the kids, it was hard. We're very honest with our kids. I feel like overall, like, we're not doomsdayers, but we don't sugarcoat things and
basically, we've taken the stance. If they're old enough to ask the questions, they're old enough to get the answers.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't overshare. because they might not be ready for certain things. Even with, the world of foster care, we don't lie to them, but we're not going to tell them everything we would tell an adult because they're not adults, right?
No,
they can only handle so
yeah.
much, but if they are asking the questions, they deserve the answers. So I know Benny and Lainey, I picked them up from school that afternoon that I got the diagnosis, and I told Jason I wanted to. I sent him home. I didn't want to see our nanny yet. Like, she was here with the little kids when I found out, and I just kind of rushed out of the house. Like, I wasn't ready to talk to her.
She said she knew, like,
she had a feeling,
how you
yeah.
responded, because you two are like sisters now.
Yeah, and I just like left the house probably with bloodshot eyes and puffy face. Yeah, so I sent Jason home. One of my best friends actually came and sat with me in the car and talked and prayed before school pickup opened up. Yeah, we talked and prayed. I actually talked to one of our pastors on the phone. He gave me some insight into kind of how to have these conversations with the kids, gave me some thoughts and his advice. He prayed over me. And then I picked up the kids from school, and I was just driving home with the kids, because if you don't know, driving is a great time to have conversation with your kids.
They're locked in.
They're stuck in, right?
They take their phones away. Like, our kids don't have phones. Lady's 12, and she's not getting a phone until she's like 16. And
Yeah, she doesn't need one.
Yeah. So granted, she's also harder to talk to now than she was then.
Yeah. Yes. But no, we were stuck in the car, and I remember exactly where we were sitting because I just have this visual memory. But I just said, guys, I got the results from my surgery, and I said it did show that tumor that they removed had cancer, and I said because of that, I have to get the rest of my thyroid out in 10 days. But I just kind of left it at that. I said, it should be good after they take the rest out. Just pray that it's all gone and everything looks good.
Yeah.
And I tried to keep it like honest but simple, right?
Factual.
And if they said they were, scared or afraid, I met them with, that's okay. I am too. We're going to pray on it, and we're just going to keep doing what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
you might have had deeper conversations.
No, I mean, you summed it up pretty well. You would know they would, every once in a while, a question would pop up, right?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, hey, let's sit down and talk about it for 45 minutes. You'd be eating dinner, and one of them would look at you and say, hey, mommy's cancer. And they'd ask a random question. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
And during that time, this is for dads. I remember like, okay, gotta be strong, right? And it's a balance between being strong and being robotic.
But you don't need to be strong. Like,
Yeah, you do. That's what husbands are supposed to do. Like,
no, I would argue that it's just as important for.
Well, that's
the
what I
kids
was.
and
Did you
your
hear what I said?
family.
I said I'm not robotic. Like, strong. Like, yes, you have emotions. Yes, you have fears. But like,
Yeah.
you got to be that strong pillar.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Yeah. But yeah, so in true Benny form, he researched it all.
Did he really?
Yeah. I remember his teacher sent me a video. He got up in front of his whole class and explained his mommy's cancer.
Yep.
And he explained it beautifully.
Of course he did.
And then he prayed with his class about my next surgery. He understood, right? And Lainey's more like me, where she internalizes her feelings and it comes out in little spurts as she's processing. But yeah, I think, like you said, she asked her questions when she had them, and then went along and did stuff that tweens do.
Lick the wall, like, I don't know, do a weird dance. So, all right, so we found out Whit has cancer, right? Initial shock,
and the little kids, they didn't understand. They just knew mommy needed another surgery.
And they just knew mommy needed surgery. We've shared this before, but so she had her second surgery, and then in October was when she was going to go away for her treatment. Mm-hmm. Go to the James, get her radioactive iodine pill swallowed, become a nuclear positive dirty bomb, and have to isolate.
Dirty bomb.
Yeah, it's from all my.
Wow.
You don't get it. It's not. It's from all my doomsday books and movies.
I got to carry around a card with me saying I was radioactive for, I think it's like 98 days or 110 days or something like that.
We've shared it before, but 10 days before you were scheduled to leave, we got that call for one of our former foster kids who was going back into care that was coming home. And that was moving our family from 5 to 6.
It was wild.
And we said yes. Again, to encourage you, even during stormy times, stay on your mission. Stay on the course. Like during a Bible time I actually got to have recently, hope is not the absence of basic humans' emotions. It's an anchor in a storm. And I think like that's good, Chris Langham. By the way, if you need a good devotional tool, use Through the Word. It's fantastic. Anyway, he said that and I was like, yeah, that's what that is. That's what that was. Like, it wasn't like, oh, everything's going to be okay or golly. It was like, storms are scary. Like, people always say
it anchors you down. That's great.
A good boat captain is one who's been through the storms. Like a boat captain who's never been through a storm, they don't really know what they're doing. You don't really know what you're doing until you've been through a storm.
Yeah.
So, all right, we talked with the kids. Overall, they handled it pretty well. Whit leaves to go to therapy. All her treatment gone 2 weeks. We shared that. Our super nanny was here, helped me keep sanity. We made it. So let's talk about what it's like. You have gone back now twice for follow-ups, your 6-month and your annual. Let's talk about anxiety and what it's like just waiting in between.
It's terrible.
It is.
Because the waiting in between, there's a good, I was being seen so I went in November for a scan, and then in April for a scan. And then,
well, the November scan was like just to ensure the radioactive iodine had done all it done. Like, right? That was more of a follow-up from treatment, not really a follow-up to see where you were,
correct.
Right? Yeah.
But that was also when they scanned my lungs and everything, to get a baseline. Because that's my lungs, my chest are an area that research has shown to be likely recurrent.
What is it? Lungs and like hip bones, like
yeah. There's something else too, but yeah. So they have a baseline of all that now, and that's something that they'll continue to monitor, just to make sure there's nothing that grows where it shouldn't be growing. But that's anxiety. I didn't know it was a thing until it was a thing, right? Like, I don't know how else to put it. But every time I go now, my labs, is my tumor marker going to be low or non-existent? Well, there's still a nodule that my doctor is continuing to monitor deep in my neck, like kind of underneath my collarbone-ish, residual from the thyroid surgery, but he's continuing to monitor it because it doesn't look right. So is that going to get to the point where he needs to do something beyond monitoring it, right? Like, there's always the unknown. Like, what is this scan going to reveal? What is this blood work going to reveal? For months after this diagnosis, every little ache and pain in my body, I stopped trusting my body. Like, I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
it was about a year ago
I vividly remember that. Yeah.
I stopped trusting my body because I had this cancer in my body and I didn't know, and I thought I was healthy. And then all of a sudden, I have cancer. And so every little ache and pain, every little...
Well, I remember vividly so Whitney has jacked up hips. She's...
Yeah.
She's young and has already had one hip replacement, super young. And
last December, I went back to the James because...
You were worried because this cancer, where it goes is your hip bone, and it turns out her other hip just needs replaced. But when you're in the middle of a fresh cancer diagnosis... You
worry that that's what the problem is, right?
Right. Like, you didn't believe I don't want to say you didn't believe. You wanted a second opinion after your orthopedic here said, no, this is what this is. And you were like, I don't believe, like, I don't.
Well, I was like, I don't think you understand this cancer part of it. Like, there's a little more going on now.
Yeah.
So
you went to the James. So and they're like, yeah, that's what it is. You're like, oh, okay. So
yeah. They offered me, he was like, well, we can do, I forget what it's called.
Labral scope.
Basically a scope or a surgery to fix this one specific area that will delay needing a hip replacement, but it's like a 14-week recovery with crutches. Or you can get a hip replacement and be good to go. I was like, Let me explain my life to you. So,
I mean, it's wild that hip replacements are such a quick relatively quick.
I mean, they're
recovery.
obviously also a very major surgery, which is why I'm putting it off.
But it's wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
Yeah. Anyway.
That was way off topic.
Yeah. So the scan to scan things, right? Like, I have confidence. Yeah, I'm always confident scans are going to be positive news for us. But just because I'm confident doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm faithful. I pray about it. I'm confident God.
And your faith is so strong. Like,
It
I remember
is.
when we had our miscarriage, I was like, Jason, like, this, prepare that this baby isn't going to be alive anymore.
Yeah.
Like, when we went for
I was
that
like, no.
second ultrasound, and you're like, of course it is. Like, everything's going to be fine. I was like,
No.
okay.
And somebody from church, I think it was Heidi, told you, like, hey, faith isn't everything's going to be okay. It's you still trust God even if it's not. Something to that effect,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm sure I butchered her quote, but I was like, yeah, that's true. And I think I do handle that still well, but like I'm always going to assume
The best
to start with, and I'll deal with the bad.
Yeah. I mean, Jason's aunt told me, she was like, stop talking about it as if it's your cancer and that you have cancer, that it's a part of you. She said, don't take ownership of it. It's not a
Is that
part
Aunt
of
Cheryl?
you. No, Aunt Linda.
Oh.
Yeah, it was good advice.
It is good advice.
And she was like, rebuke it. It's not a part of you. Don't talk as if it is. So, yeah, like, she goes, you had cancer.
That's my perspective
Believing
too. Yep.
that it's gone, right? Which is great. Yeah.
And, so let's talk about what we've learned in our journey with cancer.
What have you learned, Jason?
Me and Whitney, so, when things happen, I don't know how God always works, right? But for us, we're like, okay, why did this happen? What can we learn? And we both agree this cancer happened to teach us to not try to control, to trust God with everything.
It was a great reminder that God is in control. It was a great reminder of that we are not in control.
I mean, because there's
We never were.
And to trust like God, also trust other people that God is using to help us, because we wouldn't have made it through those couple weeks, months without a lot of support from people.
And to trust that still small voice. I mean, it's a whole different story. That could be a whole different podcast with how I ended up at the James, honestly.
Well, how you figured out that you had cancer.
How I knew I had cancer.
And how it got diagnosed so quick.
So trusting your own instincts, trusting that still small voice, and
you do good at that.
advocating for yourself.
You have a really
there's
good small.
a lot of lessons that came out of this, but self-advocacy is a big part of it. Like, I didn't listen to, you have to take control of your health. Doctors are trained in specialized areas, yes, but not everyone fits into the same mold. Like, it's not a
It's not formulaic.
shoe fits all kind of a deal, right? So you know your body more than anyone else. And if you think something is off, you need to be the one to advocate for yourself, because no one else will.
Yep. So just to give a kind of synopsis of where we are now with Whitney's cancer, she has had 2 successful scans. I guess that's the way to say it.
Yeah.
Successful. Both scans 6 months afterwards, and then just this past October.
October.
Both showed 0 signs of cancer, which is exactly that's an ideal state. So,
Yes.
That's a huge praise and blessing. And she goes back in April, and if that one is a clear scan, she gets to move to 1-year scans instead of every 6 months, which is, for her type of cancer, once you make it to a year without recurrence, I was reading.
You read on AI.
Well, no, I looked up the source data, right? Yes, of course. But then I always looked at the source data as well. And it said after a year, chances of recurrence are significantly reduced, which makes sense. Why else would they send you to a year?
Right.
If it didn't significantly reduce.
Yeah.
So that's been awesome.
It is awesome.
And what else do you have before we encourage others in the storm this summer to start to wrap this puppy up?
I think the other thing is, don't forget your people. Lean on your community. And I feel like that's been a theme throughout a lot of our podcasts, but you're not in any storm alone. You might feel like you're alone. You might feel like the winds are swirling around you, but I guarantee there are hands willing to reach out to you if you're willing to grab them.
Yeah.
Wasn't that good?
It was good. Well done.
Thanks.
Well done.
That wasn't even like...
You say better things when
that was in my mind.
You say better things when I'm sitting with you than when a 10-year-old or a 12, or 11 and 12-year-old, 10-year-old and 12-year-old.
There was no good quotes to pull from last week's podcast.
So others going through your storm. That's been our storm. Like that. Would you say the miscarriage when we earlier in our marriage and this had been the two big storms, I think.
Yeah. I mean, last year was just really hard. There was cancer. There was several, we lost your dad. I lost several other people really close to me.
And it was all like the second half of the year.
It was
too.
all in like
hard.
the fall and the winter.
We
it was awful.
had to replace 2 vehicles.
Yeah, like
that doesn't matter compared to humans, right?
Right.
But that's still a stressor. That was had that been at the end of the stressful period, we'd be like, who cares?
Right.
But that was the beginning of our stress.
Yeah.
So it was like, man, this sucks.
We should have known it was going to be a really bad end of the year when our family vacation started out with the transmission blowing.
It didn't blow. You made it.
Oh, my
but
word.
We did have to tow the band back from Maryland. Anyway, so going through a storm. It's okay to have rough moments and stress and fear.
That's human.
Yeah.
It's human, guys.
It's okay to have moments. It's okay to have instances. Don't sit there.
You can't live in it. You can't let it consume you. You still need to live because this is the one life you get here.
Yeah. I mean, our friends in Jamaica's precious to Whitney and I. We got married there, and they just got hit by one of the most powerful hurricanes. Well, just a couple months ago, got hit by one of the most powerful hurricanes ever recorded. I'm sure it was awful to be in the middle of that storm. But guess what? They're rebuilding now. The resort we went to a couple years ago, I saw was reopening soon. Like, wow. I think the 10th. Just say that to say, storms pass.
Yeah.
Storms pass.
You might need to sit through it for a while, but sit in it, feel it, pray through it. Let people be your strength. Let God be your strength through it.
And faith doesn't mean you never doubt. It just means you keep showing up and trusting God one day at a time. When you're going through a storm, don't plan out the next things or what could happen or what will happen. Just battle right where you are.
Yeah.
And I said this already, I want to reemphasize, say it again. Hope is not the absence of normal emotion. It's anchor in a storm. Having hope, having faith does not mean that every once in a while you don't have weak moments. It's okay. I mean, think about it. Jesus wept. They asked his friend Lazarus died. Lazarus' people were obviously upset. Jesus knew he was going to go and make him alive again, but yet Jesus still chose to weep with those people. What does that tell you? It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to be sad. Like, even if you have full confidence in whatever you think is going to happen, whatever storm you're dealing with is going to come out the other side okay, you can still have emotions. Jesus, who died for all of us, God, who knew in a couple minutes he was going to go heal this dude and he was going to be up walking around, still wept with the people when they came to him. I think that is such an important thing to remember.
There's one verse that I clung to during that whole year. I was trying to find the Message version, but I can't find it.
I don't use the Message version.
Well, it's a nice... I wanted to see what it said, actually, because I don't know what it says for the Message version. But the NLT version of Psalm 27:13... Yet I am confident that I will see the Lord's goodness while I am here in the land of the living. It's there. We just have to look for it.
Yeah.
And this earth is not our home. But we are here for a reason, and we are here for a time, and we are here for a purpose. And we can't forget that. No matter what we're going through, no matter what storm life might have you in, don't forget that he has you in that storm for a purpose. Maybe. Forget that part.
Yeah, we can debate that. Like some people would argue that
there can be a purpose. Okay, let me fix my words. I was multitasking. Their purpose can come through your storm.
Yes, that's much better said.
Like, and part of that purpose is to bring glory to God through the storm.
Yes.
Did he choose to put you in the storm? Quite possibly no, right? Like, that's what Jason's questioning. Yeah, like, correct. God doesn't always say, like, you're going to have
cancer.
this problem.
Yeah, no.
Right? You're going to lose a child at a young age. Like, no, it doesn't go like that. However, I remain confident that I will see the Lord's goodness while I am here in the land of the living.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's some other
Just sit with that.
Some other takeaways. Oh, you want me to stop?
No, you gave me a weird look.
Oh, not on purpose.
Well, it's good.
I mean, some other things we've learned, grown, whatever, to take away from a cancer diagnosis. I think we appreciate each other more, I feel like our moments.
Yeah.
I think we always did. You know, it's not like we were like, oh, I'm sick of that Whitney. I've never felt like that. Like
well, I love you.
Right. But I mean,
I want you around.
Right. Like during, like,
I want to be with you.
Whitney and I joked during COVID when everybody was stuck at home, how much we appreciated the fact that we liked each other.
Yeah, that would have been awful if we didn't like each other.
We all know some spouses that are just not, they don't appear like, maybe they do, but sometimes it doesn't appear that way. Learn to really lean on God and trust God, which is good, because I don't know if our life is a little crazy, and I don't know if we would have ended up where we are now, even just a little over a year later, if we don't really lean and trust God.
Yeah. What
else? So yeah, I guess now just summarize where Whitney's at now. I think we summarized it, but she's doing good. She's had anybody who's ever dealt with thyroid things. I never knew how much the thyroid does for your body until you got rid of yours.
And then you're just like, oh.
She has.
Yeah, same.
Her body has struggled in terms of balancing
no thyroid
and getting hormone levels right and all the things, like
weight gain.
Because the first thing is they want to keep a THC, no, 2S,
You're getting me all confused.
TSH is a measure they measure for thyroid stuff. It's a very technical medical part.
They need to get without having a thyroid to prevent.
It prevents thyroid growth.
Yeah, so my TSH. They want to keep my TSH actually really, really hyper, which is really, really low. So like my goal number is 0.1 to 0.5, which is, if you know thyroid numbers, that's low. That's really low. And supposedly you're supposed to, lose weight when it's that low.
But like
here I am.
Yeah, you haven't, but it's because of chemical stuff, right? But we think she's finally coming out.
I think I'm figuring it out, like adding in.
Because I mean, the main goal, no cancer. Yeah. Everything else can wait, right? Like you can gain weight, you can lose your hair, like everything else.
But figuring out the right numbers, being medication dependent for the rest of your life. Like if I don't take this medication, I would die, right? Yeah, it's been a journey.
I remember how sad you were when you realized
that this was my life.
Your perspective was your body was broken forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember sitting in a lab getting blood drawn a couple weeks after. My mom was still here. So I think it was like a week after.
Was it here at the community?
It was here for labs, for my calcium, because they needed to make sure. The other thing is, if your calcium levels are off, there's just a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But I remember getting labs drawn, and I just cried because I realized, like, this is my life now, like constant labs to make sure.
Like you were healthy one day and the next day.
What I thought was healthy, right? Like at least I had a full functioning thyroid, but.
Not really. We found out after the fact.
Right. But yeah.
So encourage.
But you know what? Like the one thing I wanted to say before we just got off on that track, it's okay to not be okay. And I think that people need to hear that. Whatever it is, whatever you're going through, if you don't feel okay, that's okay. We put this unrealistic expectation on ourselves that everything has to be great and good and okay. And sometimes it's just not. And be honest with that. I encourage you to be open about that and let people in when you're not okay.
And, find the people that will sit with you.
Yeah.
but not forever. Like, you can't sit in that state forever and just, like, yes, you can have moments and seasons of, man, this is really hard.
Yeah.
Like, that's normal. Don't have people that are just going to sit with you in it forever. You have to, like, fight.
You need people that will speak into you too and encourage you.
You don't, when sailors are out in their boat in a storm, I don't think it's a strategy just as, oh, let's hang out. Like, I don't think that, like, they're constantly trying to figure out what to do, right? They're fighting it. So, like I said, overall doing really well, cancer-wise, doing really well. Very grateful for that. If you're going through a hard season, I would just encourage you to fight.
Yes.
And don't lose your purpose. Like, Whitney and I think we've talked about this. Like, we think this cancer was a attempt from the evil one to get us off track on what we're doing, and we didn't allow that. God supported us through it, so we didn't allow that. I would encourage the same for you.
Yes.
Okay, what else as we wrap?
I was going to close out, but if you have more that you want to share.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
First, let me read a Bible verse.
Well, I was going to read a Bible verse.
Are you going to read Romans 15:13?
I actually was.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I want to leave you with this. Romans 15:13. I pray that God, the source of hope, will fill you completely with joy and peace because you trust in him. Until next time.
Dream small.
Thanks for listening to the Dream Small podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please tap the follow button and leave us a review. It helps other people find my mom and dad's show. If you're on Spotify, please give my parents a follow and a 5-star rating. And wherever you listen, don't forget to share the show with a friend who needs a little encouragement today. You can also follow us on social media to stay in the loop. Instagram at Dream Small Podcast, Facebook Dream Small Podcast, and Twitter X at Dream Small Show. Or email us anytime at dreamsmallpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. And remember, just dream small. See you next time.